everything starts with a vision. All right, so my vision, I don't know whether I'm in the way of people, but my vision, or Craft Your Future's vision, is to build a global community of people who are empowered. People who have achieved financial independence and have multiple income streams. All right? This is a global community. I'm not looking for a local community. I'm looking for a global community. So this is something that I'm really looking forward to achieve. One day, I'll be having an international conference. That kind of thing. Amen? All right. So, I don't know whether I've skipped. Okay. Yeah. All right. So how many have ever been in this situation? I thought I should have figured it out by now. All of us, right? Even I've been there. One day you wake up, you're like, again. Still have to go there again. I still have to pay this loan again. I'm still borrowing 5K from Anto again. Why? Why? That kind of thing. And we thought that as you grow older, it will be easier to figure out your finances, right? Yeah? But the problem is, if no one's taught you how to do it at an earlier time, you're still working on your same old knowledge as you grow older. And until you seek information how you can change your life, you'll keep doing the same thing over and over. We try to clutch on to straws. You ask your friend, what are you doing? You're saving in a circle. Sawa. Another one, what are you doing? You're in buying land. Sawa. We try to pick a few things here and there, but we don't have a clear plan on how to achieve that financial freedom that we are all chasing. Okay? So I want to give you a few statistics for Kenya. But they're not good statistics. I call them the red flags. Okay? So what does the red flags mean? For Kenya. Number one, 80% of Kenyans do what? Use mobile loans. So 80% of us in this room, at one point or another, has accessed some mobile loan of some form. Okay? Next. 1 out of every 3 Kenyans will deplete their savings within 1 month of losing their regular source of income. 1 month. True or false? Yeah? All right. Next. Only 35% of Kenyans save regularly. 35% save regularly. Not those ones for this month, 2K, next month, 0, next month, 1 bob. Like regularly, you have a system in place every month that you're saving for emergency, short-term goals, long-term goals. So 35%. Now, when you say it in percent, it doesn't look much, but what's our population? 51 million? So when you do the numbers, it means there's a big problem, okay? All right, next. 82% of senior citizens, that is people above the age of 60, are still in active employment to meet their basic needs. So these are guys who should be retiring, but they're there just grinding as hard as you, because if they leave that job, they don't have money for rent, they don't have a house to run to and do retirement, they still have people to pay for bills and everything like that. So, and you here who are young want to get promoted, but you can't because somebody's seated there. And until he retires, because we won't fire him, until he retires, then there's an opportunity. But by then you'll be the old person sitting there. And then also you can't quit because you've been waiting for that position. Yeah? So it's really sad. All right, next. Then less than 3% of Kenyans have insurance. Because we are men of faith. We are men of faith. I'm covered by the blood of Jesus. Amen. Yeah? Because the thing is this. We don't see it as relevant. We see it as a waste of money to cover ourselves. Okay? Until the day you need it, then you're like, oh my goodness. You know, for example, medical cover. Not many people look for medical cover, especially those who are in business. The people in business are always like, I have enough that I need to restock. I need to pay this and this. I need to reinvest rather than cover the business. And then what happens? Maandamano Mondays comes and clears his stock. Because guys come, raid the shop, and then all of a sudden, you're starting again from scratch. All right? Or Maandamano Mondays, you're hit by something, you go to hospital, now you're paying for your bills cash. Then what happens? WhatsApp groups. Tumchange, that kind of thing. So we need to change a number of things in the way how we view these things. Right? Insurance is here to protect what you've built. It's not here to take away your money. Okay? All right. Now, ignoring the red flags means as a country, we're headed towards what we call old age poverty. If 35% of Kenyans are the only ones saving, if 3% are the only ones with insurance, if the senior citizens, 80 in your 60s, are still working to meet basic needs, then we're just growing old but staying in the same condition. And imagine we're still giving birth to children, so what are we going to give them? Poverty. Because there's nothing that they're going to have as a stepping stone to start off their lives. All right? Okay. So how did we get here? You can ask yourself that question. How did we get here? Because sometimes we end up somewhere and you're like, I didn't see how I got here, but how did I get here? Okay? All right. There's a common path that we go through, all of us, in the world, basically. So we start off with the first thing. All right. We grew up with no financial knowledge. All right. Personally, in an African setting, in my family, my dad never sat me down one day and told me, when you start making money, this is what you do. You put money aside, you tithe, then you put savings, then now you handle the rest with your expenditures. No one told me that. Then he said, no one told me, after saving, now you invest so that you start getting some side income. And then when you get this side income, you should get some wealth protection so that it protects you in case anything happens. Never sat me down to do that. The most we used to discuss money was school fees. Umelipa? Wapi receipt? Or hatuna pesa leo? That kind of thing. No money. Can I do this? No money. No money. So what happens? And then the other thing that you see them doing is, whenever there's money, the mood in the house is different. There's nyama today. Mnaambiwa twende tukule chips town. Tukunywe soda. So what happens in your mind? You start knowing that whenever there's money, we spend it. We enjoy, we spend it. And the rest, when there's no money, tunakaa ngumu. Yeah. So imagine you grow up with that mentality. Yeah? So the next thing that happens is you try to figure it out by yourself. Because in Kenyan society, when you reach the age of 22, that's when most people graduate from their degree and start working. Some who don't do, some start working earlier. But then when you start earning your first paycheck, we assume you're an adult and you will know how to manage your money, right? So no one comes to ask you, hey, Norton, what are you doing with your money? Are you budgeting? You're like, hey, boss, umekuja sana. Unijui hivyo, no one comes to ask you, are you investing? What percentage of your income are you investing? No one comes to ask you that because you're an adult. In fact, the first thing that shows you're an adult, you move out. You move out, yeah? The house, because you need your space. You need your space. And then to fund your space, you get a loan to buy your couch, to buy your bed, to buy your curtains. Yeah? Yeah, because you're an adult. You see, that's the thing. So we try to figure it out by ourselves. And then now, as you're figuring it out by yourself, you don't have a clear plan. Now, you don't have a clear plan. Why? Because this is just my first job. I'm waiting for a better job so that I start investing. so that I start saving, But sometimes that better job comes after 10 years. So for 10 years, you'd have done nothing much as you're waiting. Yeah? Okay? Next thing. Then as you're waiting, certain habits develop. Okay? So habits that develop, some of them are, you don't save. All right? You spend all you make. What else? You assume there'll always be money coming in at the end of the month. And what does that mean? I can afford to go to Pastor Mwindi and say, Nisadena 5K nitakurudishia next month. End month. That kind of thing. Because we are assuming money will always be there. All right? Next thing that happens, stagnation. Before you know it, you're there, 10, 15 years have passed, and you're asking yourself, still here. You talk to your peers who are now pilots at KQ, and they're like, yeah, we just moved into Kilimani, this is my second house. And you are there, I'm still here, I'm not moving, I'm still grinding, that kind of thing. Yes, you've not lacked food on your table, you've been blessed, you take your children to school, but you feel there's still much more. Yeah? So that's what I call stagnation. You're not where you'd like to be. Then the last thing that happens as time goes by, regrets come in. I wish I started earlier. I wish I started that business that my friend told me earlier. I wish I was saving a bit more. I wish I even built that one-bedroom house in Ushago. All of a sudden you're just having a lot of regrets. I wish I went back and did my degree. I wish I went back and, those kinds of things come in. This is a common path that we all go through. Now, if you don't break out of this path, for sure you'll do the whole cycle. So the fact that you have an opportunity to listen to some of the things I have to say, it's your chance to say, this ends today. And I have to do something differently. We learned about the prudent see danger and do what? And change direction. And the simple, what was it? The simple-minded? They just proceed. Yeah? All right. Next thing. So I want to ask you guys a few things. A word game. So I want to say a word and you shout out what comes to mind. All right? Sawa? Are we ready? Yeah. Rich. Omoka. Other word? What comes to mind? Don't even think it. Don't overthink. Elon Musk. Mutaiga. Money. What? Bentley. I like it. All right. I hope, can somebody just take note of some of those things guys are saying? All right. Second word. Salary. Rent. Saving. School fees. Security. Taxes. She what? Sheaf. Shisha. Housing fund. Yeah. Next word. Fuliza. Safaricom. Sota. Red flag. Yes? Sorry? Another word? Next word. Business. Hard. Wealth. Troubles. Freedom. Another word? Next one. Saving. Ngumu. Must. Freedom. Pain. Investment. Last one. Economy. Where? All right. Now, there's a reason why I say these words. Because success and failure starts in your mind. So if I tell you economy and you say hard, does that define you? Does the economy determine your success or failure? Last year we talked about the way we survived, as a country to pay our debt. And people were so emotive. These guys are borrowing endlessly. But how about you? Did you have debt? How about you? Were you saving at that time? Were you thriving as an individual? I'm getting personal, eh? Because it's easy to always point out. It's always easy to point out. But then when it comes to personal finance, personal. Personal finance is personal. You. It's not your parents, it's not your country, it's not anything else, it's you. It's personal. All right? So mindset is a key thing. So mindset determines your success or failure. It determines how you react to certain things. Okay? Now, there are two kinds of mindsets. All right? There's a fixed mindset, and there's a growth mindset. And there's something we also call scarcity mindset and abundance mindset. Now, somebody with a fixed mindset tends to think that there's no need to continue developing myself. I think I have all the knowledge I need. Let me just age gracefully. That kind of thing. Eh? What I know, no one else needs to tell me anything. I know, I'm an adult. All right? Somebody with a fixed mindset, they try something, and if it doesn't work the first time, they say, that was not meant for me. All right? They're that person who gives up easily. They're that person who sees others as competition. I can't tell Mike what I'm doing because I don't want him to do better than me. Okay? That's somebody with a fixed mindset. Somebody with a growth mindset, on the other hand, is somebody who's like, I'm always willing to learn. What's happening out there? What are you doing? How can I learn from you? That's somebody with a growth mindset. This is somebody who's like, I tried this. I tried farming potatoes, nikachomeka. But next planting season, niko hapo. But now with more knowledge and experience, yeah? Somebody with a growth mindset looks at others as resources. How can I learn from this person? I go to him and ask, how are you doing it? Can you teach me? All right. That's somebody with a growth mindset. Somebody who is willing to get out of their comfort zone. Comfort zone is, just as long as I'm paying my bills, I'm good. I mean, I'm working Monday to Friday. What else do you want from me? All right? But actually, for you to get that freedom, it's what you do in your free time. To get financial freedom, it's what you do in your free time. So you go to work, yes, Monday 8 to 5 till Friday. Perfect. That gives you a salary. But what do you do in your free time? All right? So what do you do in your free time? Do you read books to grow your mind, to get business ideas? Do you read books to learn about investing? Do you talk to people and find out how are they doing their projects so that you can also start doing the same projects? Originality is overrated. But somebody can always sit there and I'm waiting for that business idea no one has ever done. So we sit there waiting, but you will wait. Unless you're Elon Musk, where now you're exploring space. You will do everything that everyone has done before. Okay? So it's about asking yourself, what am I not good at and how can I get better at it? Do you go for coaching? What are you not good at? Can you go for coaching and get better at it? And maybe that will be your source of income now. Okay? So So it's about improving your skills when you're not at work. Because those skills is that are the things that will open opportunities for you to get other sources of income. And I'll get to investing because you need other sources of income for you to grow your investments. Salary is not what makes you rich. Your salary is not what makes you rich. How many people know of people who earn over 1 million but are seriously in debt? But si wako na salary. So there's something else. Your circle is small. All right. You can even just look, even our MPs, there was a time MPs were posting their pay slips. Deductions are there until you're like, hey, I'm done. I really need to be helping my MPs. Instead of them helping you, right? All right. Okay. So those are just some of the mindset. Let me move quicker. Now, scarcity mindset is now somebody who, despite handling their basic needs, they still feel like they can't do any better than that. Despite having a salary, this person says, I don't see myself living outside this area. I don't see myself ever leaving this country. You limit yourself so much because of your scarcity mentality. In fact, what we go ahead and say, in our family, no one has ever been rich. So I don't think I'll ever be rich. Scarcity mentality. All right? Now, abundance mentality is somebody who says, if Dante can do it, I can do it as well. All right? If he can do it, I can do it. If he went to school just like me, I can do it. Or I can even go to him and tell him, teach me how to do it. And I do it. All right? So somebody with abundance mindset sees that opportunities are there for all of us. It's not just for a particular set of people. All right? You know the way we see Wazungus coming into Kenya for holiday? And we're like, these guys, they're always so rich. They're so lucky. They're so lucky. Yet, let me tell you, there was a time I got the opportunity to go to the States. I went there, and they asked me, so, you'll be there. Amen. Now this guy has an abundance mindset. Abundance mindset. So I'm seated there with Wazungus, and they asked me, so what do you usually do in the holidays? So me, I'm there, I'm being very modest. You know, us in the holidays, we go to, I come from Kisumu, so we go to our other house in Kisumu. And they're like, oh, you have 2 houses. They were so jazzed. I'm like, yeah, everyone in Africa has 2 houses. There's your city home and your village home. They're like, whoa, you guys, yes. One of you, they were so amazed. So I'm like, you guys, there's nothing they're showing us. We have 2 homes. So let me tell you guys, it's just about how you view yourself. Anything anyone else can do, you can do. It's about you making up your mind, all right? There's a brief exercise I want you to do. Just take a picture. I'll not go through it. You know, in your free time, just ask yourself, what are the areas that I have a scarcity mindset about? And what are the areas I have an abundance mindset? And where do I see myself having a fixed mindset? And where do I see myself having a growth mindset? Sawa sawa? We can move to the next. All right, so next thing after your mind is goals. All right, let's move on to the next slide. All right, goals. Who here has their goal written down of where they want to be in 10 years from now in detail? Nice. Yes. In detail. There are two people here with a serious goal. Can we just applaud them? Come on. Come on. Now, 10 years. I'm not talking about next week. Not end month. 10 years. You know why your goal should be something long-term? So that it can drive you. You know, when you don't have a goal that is long-term, your thinking is always short-term. I just need to make it through end month. I just need to make it to the end of this year. Let me see. I don't know about next year, but I just need to make it to December. And what does that mean? That if somebody came and told you, can you do a course for 2 years? You'd be like, aye. Go more 2 years. Doing what for 2 years? But if you have a 10-year goal, 2 years is just 20%. 2 years will just be something small, a building block, so that the rest of the 8 years, you're making money from what you did the 2 years. All right? But if you're just thinking about end month, you're just thinking about what I need to pay, bills. And then you don't think beyond that. Okay? So now, next slide. So, dreaming is free. Amen? I mean, God gives you sleep because He loves you. See that? So dreams to go with it. Dreaming is free. But for it to become a goal, you need to write it down with a date. Like, I want to be living in, where? Muthaiga by the time I am, how many years old? 45. I want to be living, not only stopping there, I want to be living in a 4-bedroom house with a driveway. I want to be having my 3 children, for example, who will be going there close by, Roslyn Academy. All right? These children of mine, they'll be, you're setting them up for success. All right? Your goal needs to be so clear to you that if I stopped you in town on a random day, you would be telling it out to me without thinking about it. But what happens is many of us don't have a clear goal. So if you don't have a clear goal, what happens? Every year, we change. Say something like New Year resolution. Am I shouting? A New Year resolution is not a goal, guys. A New Year resolution is just something we want to change a habit. Have you noticed that? A New Year resolution is usually to change a habit. It's not a goal. Okay? And most of the time we don't make it to change those habits. We reset in January again. I mean, we start by fasting. Now this year. Wacha nimalize fast. Okay. All right. Now the next thing. Now once you have that goal, you need to break it down into steps to become a plan. All right? Now, if my goal is to live in Muthaiga 10 years from now, okay? Then what do I need to do starting today to get there? Okay? Number one, first, I need to be prudent with my finances right now. I can't afford to be wasteful. Okay? I need to start investing. But not only that, how much do I start investing? Consistently every month. And then because maybe that won't get me to Muthaiga still, then I need another second source of income. Do I need to get a better paying job? Yes. Do I need to start a business? At some point. Do I need to start investing? Most definitely. You should have already started. All right? What else do I need to do? Maybe I need to go back to school. Then I need to polish up on a certain skill so that I can get consultancies that pay me 500K once a year. All right? Maybe I need to get into social media. How many people are making money in social media right now? So many people. The one that I was just amazed at. Do you know, there's a channel, I don't know this lady, but on TikTok, the channel is watching her clean her house. She's just there scrubbing. Before and after, done. My goodness, the views and the millions of people who follow that person. Do you know how much money that is? From you washing your house. Guys, we need to open up our minds, right? Because if that person is making money, you who has a degree, and you are hiring somebody to clean your house. So we need to think outside the box. That's basically what I'm trying to say. Think outside the box, all right? Be a thought leader. You know, being a thought leader means just sharing ideas on a certain thing on social media. That could open doors for you to be called to provide, you know, a session in a conference or something, and it comes with money, right? So sometimes even just pursuing that passion God has given you and letting that information out can open doors for you. Okay? All right. Then, now you have broken down your goal into steps. Then it becomes a plan. All right. So now you have a plan. Now what's the next step you need to do? After that, now you need to convert the plan to reality. You need to execute the plan. You don't create the plan and file it. You have to execute. Executing is hard. That's where most of us fail. Executing is hard. You know, they say making wealth is boring because you have to do the same thing over and over and wait because it takes time. All right? So execution is the hard part. Get bored very easily. All right? Okay, let's move on quicker. All right, quick exercise. Write down 2 goals you'd really love to achieve in the next 5 years. Instead of 10, because Molly complained 10. All right, just take a quick shot of this. Why would it mean a lot to you to achieve them? Because if your goal is not powerful enough to you, you will not be driven by it. So it has to have a pulling effect on you that you must be like, I must achieve this thing. Come rain, come sunshine. I must achieve it. Okay? Then break down that goal into steps. What are you going to do in the next 1 month? What are you going to do in the next 3 months? And you call yourself to meetings, to account, or even have an accountability partner. Like, I'm planning to do these things in the next 5 years. Hold me to it. Okay? Let's move on. Now, budgeting. When I said budgeting, no, I didn't say budgeting. All right. So budgeting, how many people use budgets? All right. I like that number. So about 80% of the room. Eh? Now let's look at the budgeting methods to sift it down a bit. Just go to the next one. Which budget method do you use? And I saw all those people put their hands up. Aya, let's move on to the next one. Number 1, the first budgeting method. Simply spending less than you earn. So this is a budgeting method for people. How many of you use it? Aya, just wink. Nitakuona. All right. This is very common, guys. Because guys assume I'm within budget because I'm just spending less than I earn. All right? That's not a budget. Okay. Second one. Envelope method. Basically, this is where you split your income into different things. You're like, hey, house shopping, inakuanga hapa, rent, this part, food, this part. You know, the guys who do that so that you don't overspend for different things. Usikule pesa ya rent on transport, you know, that kind of thing. Yeah? Then the next one. Next one is when now you become curious about the budgeting methods. Now, this is the most common one where, you know, the 50, 30, 20% method of budgeting, where 50% goes to your needs. Needs are things that you must pay every month. Whether or not you want to, you must. And I think we have an idea of what those are, right? Not Netflix. Yeah? Wants are things we would like to have, but not necessarily have to be there. All right? An example of this one? Yes, eating out. Yeah? You'd like to have, but it's not a must, it's there. All right? And then 20% is just the recommended amount that you need to save. Now, people come to ask me, how much should I be saving each month? Then I always throw it back to them, what is your goal? Okay? If you want to live in Thaiga, you can't save 20%. Fact or false? So your goal determines what action you have to take. Okay? So there's no formula. This is just a guide, 50, 30, 20, for you to start off with. But if you want acceleration to your goal, then you need to adjust to it. Okay? And then finally, this is what I actually use, the zero-sum budget. Now, zero-sum budget is me allocating every coin to something, a purpose, before I start spending it. So I start off, let's say I'm earning 100K. Of course, I've given Zakayo, yake. I've given Mungu, yake. Then now I distribute. I say 20%, this is going to my savings, this is going to my children, school fees is going to my business, this is going towards my this, and I allocate everything. Now, the beauty of this, as John Maxwell put it, a budget is telling your money where to go instead of wondering where it went. So by me doing this, I'm telling my money where to go. So what happens? If mid-month comes in and I have somebody tells me something that I had not budgeted for, then I come back to my list and say, okay, I need to now get 5K from somewhere. So I come to my budget, I'm like, okay, I'd budgeted to do a travel this month. Maybe this travel, I'll push it to next month so that I sort out this emergency. My decisions are more informed rather than just getting the 5K and sorting that emergency. Now, you can only get this 5K from two sources. All right? One of them is either you borrow, or the other one, you get it from last month's savings. Either way, you're hurting yourself. You might think getting it from savings is okay because I'm not hurting anyone, but see, you're taking from your goal that you had decided will be happening 10 years from now. So either way, you're hurting yourself. So you need to have a clear plan. Tell your money where to go instead of wondering each month where it went. And if you want to see how bad it is, download your M-Pesa statement for the month. And just look through and ask yourself, why was I paying minor 3K at 12 p.m. on Thursday? True story. Why was I paying Mike 10,000 on Sunday night? Because if you don't know where your money is going, those are the questions you'll be asking yourself. All right? So there are certain things that you need to do. You need to assess your financial situation. How much income do you have? Do you track your expenses to know how much you spend on different things? Okay? Are you saving and investing? Some people just save. Saving is not investing. Saving is putting money aside and then it needs to work for you. Your money needs to start working for you. Then lastly, are you living beyond your means? Would anyone know what living beyond your means means? What does it mean? Yes? Spending more than you have. I'd like to qualify that a bit. If you don't have money to save, you're already living beyond your means. Yes. If you don't have money to save, you're already living beyond your means. Because how else are you meant to have a brighter future if you're stuck in the moment? Okay? So, mindset. Exercise. Track your expenses for 1 month. Download that M-Pesa statement. Start asking yourself those questions. Do I know why I was paying 3K to John? Ask yourself those things. Start using a zero-sum budget. Join me in doing this thing. Do it 1 month. See how it works. Yeah? Give your money purpose. And then monitor your budget each month. Now, a budget is not a fixed thing, as many people think. A budget adjusts per the month. That's why many people fall off using budgets. They're like, because you're trying to use your budget for January in March, and maybe things have changed in March. Taxes have increased in March, but you're sticking to your budget for Jan. And then it come June, you've given up on budgeting because nothing fits your budget anymore. But it's something that needs to adjust according to what's happening around you. Okay? So if you find that your net pay is reducing, then you need to start finding ways to increase your other sources of income. Okay? The people that I have trained, the people I have had the opportunity to go through Craft Your Future, usually join what I call Craft Your Future community. And this is, as I said, what was my vision? To build a global community of people who are empowered and are financially independent, you know. So I have a community that I'm already building, right? Now, in this community, we grow each other. Part of the empowerment is I have webinars where I invite guests and we have kind of sessions on how to empower ourselves and to grow as well. So I'm having a webinar on the 4th of February, right, which is in 2 weeks' time. So this is if you want to join this webinar, I'll be with a lady from Uganda. As you said, global, guys, global. Yeah? She's a lady who has won several awards. She's an entrepreneur who is living out her story. She's not telling it, she's living it. All right? She'll tell you a bit about her story, how she started, what challenges she faced, and how she's making it. And now she's working with other women, empowering them to do the same thing. Now, this is not for women, this is for all of us. All right? So feel free, take that screenshot, follow the link, and join. Now, the second thing that I do for my community, the next one, is I walk the journey with you. Now, this year I launched a savings challenge. In my savings challenge, I had 4 clubs. I have the 250K club, I have the 150K club, 100K club, and 75K club. Basically, what means, if I'm talking about 250K club, I'm saying, would you like to have saved 250K by the end of this year? Would you like to have saved 150K by the end of this year? You know, saving is a hard thing, right? In fact, when you're doing it by yourself, it's even harder. So I'm inviting people to come and let's do it together. I'm already doing this in Lavington. I have 56 people signed up. Now I'm offering this opportunity to you guys as well. If you struggle to save, come join me. Let's do it together. Believe you me, when December comes and you have 150K in your account, January blues are nothing to you. January school fees is not a shock to you. All of a sudden, life becomes lighter, despite the economy. So it's about you, personal choices, you, personal decisions. All right? So if you're interested, text me your name. We'll share. All right. Text me your name, the club you're interested in, and I'll send you an email with the details of how to join. All right? So if you're serious about changing your life, changing your narrative, come join me in this journey.